Hey everybody, this is Jason Quill with another installment of Real Talk, and today I'm talking about the Hateful Eight. I just saw the Hateful Eight last night. I really enjoyed it. It was a very interesting experience. I loved the movie. I loved, the cinematography. The music was amazing. But let me start off from the beginning. It starts off with a 5 to 10 minute overture. Then it goes into this scene where they're in the snowy valley. Kurt Russell is in a carriage and he has his captive, Daisy. They're going to Red Rock so she can be hung. And on the way there, they run into another bounty hunter played by Samuel L. Jackson, and he too has 3 bounties, but they're dead. So he's not going there he's just going there to collect the money. So after some convincing, Kurt Russell's character allows Samuel L. Jackson to come into his carriage, and they, exchange words, not negative words, but they just get to talking. And apparently, you get off the bat that they know each other from a previous experience. So along the way, they keep talking about the past, and this movie takes place a few years after the Civil War. So racial tensions are still high. There's still some wounds that need to be healed. So they're talking about the old days, and apparently Samuel L. Jackson was a high-ranking officer in the Colored Regiment. So they talk about that. So along the way, they run up to this soon-to-be sheriff of the town that they're going to, and he knows about Samuel L. Jackson's character, but he's not as friendly towards Samuel L. Jackson as Kurt Russell's character is. So they exchange words. Being this being a Quentin Tarantino movie, the N-word is used a lot, like really a lot. But knowing the Quentin Tarantino, I'm not offended when he used that word. Again, given the time, it's appropriate. It happened in the 1870s, 1800s, 1880s. So given that, it was kind of acceptable to be like, okay, I can allow you to get away with it this time. But anyway, they get to this cottage where there's a couple more people waiting for him. Bruce Dern's character, Tim Roth, and Michael Madsen. And there's one more character, his name escapes me at the moment. But they're all sitting there, and they're just waiting out this blizzard. But little do everybody know that, I'm not going to spoil it. You just got to see it. So once there, apparently, they literally know each other, not personally, but by reputation. So as they're just sitting there, and you start to feel the tension in the air. You start to feel like, okay, they know something about each other, and you just get the feeling like something's not quite right. So they're in there and they're talking, and Bruce Dern exchanged words with the sheriff, and the sheriff reminds the old Confederate soldier played by Bruce Dern who Samuel L. Jackson character is. So they exchange words. Racial epithets are thrown back and forth, but and that leads him to tell Bruce Dern the story about how his son died. So after that, there's a brief intermission, just like they did in the old days. They had this intermission where you can go out and do whatever and then come back. So after that, they get into the meat of the story. They get to the point where Daisy's just not only a captive, but she's something more. She's something more than that. So as they realize, as people started kind of dying, Samuel L. Jackson's like, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. So he kind of narrows it down to who's who. But just when you think somebody's in on it, then that's when their story gets cut off. You're like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's not that person. But he goes through this rigorous process of elimination of who's doing what to who and why. So, but at the end of the story, it all accumulates to this typical Quentin Tarantino gunfight, where it's blood and gore, but it has a meaning. It has to be done. Just like all of his shootouts in the movie, it's just something that cannot be avoided. So, but overall, I love the movie. The cinematography is wonderful. The music was really racing. The music amped up the tension. That's what helped the scenes out more, is that the music kept building and building and building. to this high tension, and the cinematography of it was awesome. Of the scenes of these wide open meadows and valleys of snow, and you can see the blizzard coming in. You can tell that it really took them a lot to film this, and I really enjoyed the effort that he went to make this. This is made from 70 millimeters film, which isn't really made anymore. So because of that, you have to pay more. I think the total cost of the ticket was like $18, which normally is like 12 or 13. But I'm telling you, it's worth it. So I give the Hateful Eight a B+. And this is Jason Quill. And if you like what you see, you like what you hear, click below and subscribe. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.